All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started here. The reason why this video is kind of coming about is there's a lot of guys that have interest. There's some that do. There's some that don't. There's some that don't want to do it because they don't know how. Think it's too difficult. We're going to work up an XML. When you get once you do your first few, you can get a side of ball done in less than 5 minutes. It's a fairly easy process. It'll save your GAs some time. And in the Big Ten this year, it's a rule that we're going to exchange CSV files in addition to the XML files. So there's guys that in the Big Ten that don't know how to do it, which is fine. Hopefully I make this simple enough that everybody understands. First of all, you're going to need a couple things because of 64-bit mode. I have XP mode on my Dragonfly. I also have the XML converter tool on my Dragonfly. So those are the two things you're going to need to get started. I already have them installed, but you can download those from me. If you don't have permissions from me, just let me know, or if you need it, let me know and I'll send it to you. I know that Chris Luke has it. I believe James Duncan also has it. I'm going to first I'm going to go ahead and do screen share and share to you guys what's going on here on my desktop. So first things first is if you don't get an XML, you'll want to download it. I'm going to do one of my games from this past year. I don't have the XML, so I'm going to go to collegepressbox.com. I go to Big Ten, and then I am going to go ahead and I will click on my team. I'm going to work up the Nebraska game. I simply click on XML. It brings up this window here. From there, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit Control S, which is going to save it. It's going to ask me where I want to save it at. The easiest thing that I found is just to save it to a removable drive. This will be easiest for XP mode. So I've got just an SD card in here. So I'm going to click on there. You can rename it to whatever you want here as long as you save it as an XML document. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save it. You see that it's working right there. Now that it's done, I'm going to go ahead and I've already launched XP mode. Okay, we go back to the familiar Windows XP look. We double click right here on XML to CSV. This is what it looks like when it opens up. You're going to want to load play-by-play. Okay, if it didn't start, if I didn't know that it already started in the SD card, I know that you want to know, you basically want to know where you saved it at. So if you save it on your desktop, it'll be in the C, and then you got to go to Users, Administrator, Desktop, yada, yada, yada. I know that my last one was the G drive. So I'm going to go ahead and click on G, and it's just right here. It's the Nebraska-Minnesota game. So you can click Open. Okay. At this point, you're going to want to go to Setup because you're going to want to know what side of the ball are you breaking down. For me, I'm breaking down the Minnesota offense here. So I'm going to click Done, and then I'm going to click Build CSV. From here, you have two options. You can display as a spreadsheet or as a text notepad. The easiest way to do it is a spreadsheet. Okay. Here's your Excel sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click Save As, Other Formats, and so that it's a CSV. I want to go ahead and I'm going to save it again to that same external drive. For me, it's the SD card. So it's just right here. It's a CSV. I'm going to click Save. If you're doing offense and defense, you'll want to relabel that so that you know what is what. I'm going to go and click Yes. The rest of this I've never understood. I will go ahead and I click Yes again. It says that it's there. I go ahead and I replace the existing file. I click Yes again. It's not a big deal. So I can go ahead and I can close out of all this. If you're wanting to do a second side of ball, you'll do the exact same steps. You'll just switch the side of ball. You can minimize that or you can close it. I'm just going to minimize it for now. I forgot to start Exos, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I apologize. It's going to take just a minute here. In the meantime, while we're doing that, I can actually go back and We'll wait for the logon screen to come up and go ahead and log in. We'll go back and we'll show you, in case you missed it the first time, I'm going to load the play-by-play. You don't have to load it every single time if there's one loaded in there. You can go to Setup again. You uncheck Minnesota offense, you check Minnesota defense, click Done, build CSV display spreadsheet. It's a different spreadsheet. Then you go through the same process as far as saving it. You will need to install Word onto XP mode, or Excel rather, onto XP mode. So be aware of that. So I'll go ahead and minimize as we wait here. Here we go. So now I'm going to go ahead and open up Minnesota offense versus Nebraska. Okay, there's the game. I'm going to go ahead and apply no data there and detach the overlay. So here's my game. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take up half the screen with it. So all I did was minimize it. Now I'm going to drag it over to the right hand side. Okay. Now, so I've got the game open. I'm going to go back to my SD card. And I'm going to open up the CSV file. It's going to open up in Excel. And I'm going to take up and push it to half the screen there. At this rate, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to bring this down to 80%. I can see more, I can do a little bit more. The first thing I'm going to do that I'm able to tell if there's anything that needs to be taken out is in this column here, in column J, this is run pass. It's also going to tell me if there's a penalty. I can generally tell if I need to take something out. If this says, like right here where this penalty is, that says KOR, or if it says PR, those are special teams plays in the offense and defense. I can generally take those out. I'm guessing I'm going to be able to take out that 57, but I'm going to wait to get there to know for sure. I check every 10 plays to make sure that everything matches. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play 10. Okay. I know we run a little slower pace, so I know for sure, and maybe some of you guys out there do something a little bit differently, but I know for sure that my scoreboard is correct, almost always. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look over here at play 10. I'm going to look, it says 2nd and 4. Is this 2nd and 4 here? It is. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll scrub forward to make sure. Looks like about 4 yards to go. I'm at the plus 36. Looks like we're good to go. So I'm going to skip down 10 plays, okay, to play 20. It says 3rd and 5. I have 3rd and 5 on the 36. It says 3rd and 5 on the 36. I may skip forward just to make sure. And it said minus 36, so I'm good to go. Okay, I go another 10 plays. Okay, it is 2nd and 1. It says I have 1st and 10. Oh boy, what happened here? So now I need to figure out where I'm off. So I'm going to go back to the 25 to play 25. I'm going to look over here and I see 2nd and 10, and it says 1st and 10. Okay, well I'm going to go back to play 21. Play 21 says 1st and 10 on the 12. Okay, I have 2 1st and 10 on the 12. So what happened here? I'm going to go back. Oh, looks like we didn't have a correct scoreboard. So there's another 1st down. So it's 1st and 10 for play 22 here. 1st and 10 on the 27. 1st and 10 on the 27. We're good so far. 1st and 10 on the 47. We're good again. 1st and 10 on the 33. We're good. Oof, 2 1st and 10 on the 33s. What happened here? Looks like we just didn't have a correct scoreboard, possibly. So 2nd and 10. 3rd and 11. 2 3rd and 11s. Did we Oh, there's a timeout. Okay, so I leave timeouts in. I consider it part of the play. Some guys take them out. It's completely up to you and how you do it. I leave them in. So then what I do is I go ahead, I click here on play 26. I clicked on row 27. I right click. I simply click insert. Okay, it's a blank line. My GAs and quality control guys know at that point it's probably a no play. So what I do then is I go ahead and I renumber this on the right hand side. I highlight the two. This is the play numbers. I highlight those two before, and you see this red or the black square and how it becomes that black cross. The white cross becomes a black cross, and I drag down to the final play. And what it's going to do is it's going to renumber it. So now I have 74 plays. I see I have 74 here. There's 75 on the list, so there's going to be another no play somewhere. So we're going to keep going. So here's play 30. Now on play 30, 2nd and 1. I look to be looks like I'm good here. Now I'm going to go down to play 40. 1st and 3 on the 3. I have 2nd and 2 on the 2. See if the scoreboard changes. Nope, still looks like the 3-yard line. So I'm going to go back to 35. 35, 2nd and 1 on the minus 34. Doesn't look like I'm on the minus 34, so I'm going to go to play 31 now. 31 says 1st and 10 on the 15. Looks to be correct. 2nd and 6 on the 11. Looks to be correct. 3rd and 2 on the 7. Oh, looks like there's a timeout called. Yep, timeout on Nebraska. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to click on row 34. I'm going to right click, insert. I'm going to renumber the plays again. I now have 75 plays. I don't know if that's correct. I'm still a little worried about that 4th and 10 delay of game penalty. So we're going to keep plugging down the line. So I go to play 40. 1st and 3 from the 3. Yep, probably good there. 50. 1st and 10 on the 27. Oh boy, we might be off another play. Oh, skipped at the last second. We're on the 27. Look to be good now. 60. 2nd and 1. Okay, well, let's go to play 59. And that's 1st and 10 on the 25. Well, let's see what play 58 is, if that's 3rd and 10. It is. Okay, well, that 4th and 10, the delay of game penalty, this is the penalty code right here, this column. I know that it's a delay of game. So I'm going to right-click on it. I'm going to click delete. I'm going to renumber my plays again. Right? So I've got 74 plays again, so I've got to go hunting one more time, find out where that last play is. So I'm going to go to play 70 now. Okay, 70, 1st and 4 on the 4. Yep, looks to be good. 2nd and 2 on the 2. Yep, 3rd and 2 on the 2. Let's see what this one was. Looks like there was a penalty, but there was also some kind of timeout called, so I'm not sure what happened. So we're going to look at 3rd and 2 on the 2 again. And there's the penalty. Okay? So because the penalty was there, that's play 73. 72 is here. The first play would be a timeout. So I'm going to go ahead and right-click and click Insert. Okay? I now have 75 plays. Okay, I seem to be good. So then what I do is I take out columns A because I know what the play number is, F because I know who has the ball, and S is the play narrative. I take that out also. It's a lot of characters, information that's not necessarily needed. So I go ahead and click on the first one. I'm holding Control, clicking on the second one, holding Control, clicking on the third one. I right-click and I click Delete. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click Save because it's the same one that I'm going to use for import. So at this point I click Save. For those of you that are using DVSport, I believe that you guys can just save it as an Excel worksheet, and it'll import. You guys can import fine from there. I'm not sure of the DVSport import process. So for Exos users at this point, I will show you how to import these stats. So I just went full screen, and I go to Games, Import Edit Stats. Okay, it's going to bring up this window here. You're going to click Next. Okay, for me, I'm going to click on Games. I'm going to find the game. Go ahead and click on it. Click Next. Okay, CSV means it's a comma delimited file. Okay, if it was a .txt file, it would be a tab delimited file. And because I'm going to go back here to the document, this first row, it has a header. These are headers here. I'm going to leave the checkbox checked because it's saying that the first row is headers. So it's when it goes to import it, it's going to delete those headers. Okay, make sure that when you go to import, that your headers match the headers on your Excel doc match the heading group that you'll have down here, the headers and the heading group down here. So I'm going to click Next. I'm going to select it. See, it comes up text file. It was a CSV. I'm going to click Open. It's giving me that error because I still have the Excel document open. I'm going to go ahead and save it again. And now I'm gonna put it back in there. Now I'm gonna click Next. I already have a headings group that says XML, but the way you can check to make sure is series sequence, quarter, clock, down, distance, field position. RPK for me is just run pass, ball carrier. That's also your receiver if it was a pass play. Who was the receiver on the play or the intended target. Gain, who the quarterback was that threw it, the pass result. So that was a sack, that was a completion. Who the tackler jersey number was, and if there's a penalty. Okay, everything matches. It tells me there's a correct number of headings selected, and all the data checks out okay. I'm going to click Next, and then I would click Finish. At that point, it's going to ask you if you want to check your data. Okay, you can click Yes. It's going to bring up another window, a resolver window. If you click No, it's going to ask you if you want to import another game. Okay. At that point, if you've got another side of ball to do, great. If you've got another game to do, that's fine too. Coming back here, I think I've pretty much covered everything. Oh, good question. What is a header? So a header is the first row of data in the Excel file. That's what a header is. And then the header would have to match your heading group. So, like for instance, series is one of the header columns. You'll want to make sure that that matches the heading down in the playlist in your headings group. I think that's about it. If anybody else has any questions, I'd be more than happy. We can try to do this again at some other point. If there's any more questions, I can try to follow up on the message board. You can call me directly. I don't mind that. If you have any more questions, like I said, or we could do this again at the convention. I'd be more than happy to bring my laptop. Maybe DVSport would be more than willing to provide one of their laptops, and we could do it with DVSport also. So more than happy to help. Hopefully this helps anybody and everybody that has been on the fence about doing XMLs and take some of the fear out of it. I know that Darby at Northwestern has her GAs actually doing the themselves instead of the video guys having to do it. You know, I don't know if that's going to change this year with having to exchange the CSV documents at all. but it's such a great great tool, a great resource for all of us to have. I encourage you guys, if you guys aren't using College Pressbox right now, that that you use it. If you need the login information, go ahead and you can contact me, contact Chris Luke. We'll get it to you. We'll post it on the message board also. This video will be on YouTube later on, and I will go ahead and I will get that link shared out once it's posted. I will also XMLs, College Pressbox. Yeah. So if you guys have any more questions, if you guys need me to do a follow-up video, if there was anything that really wasn't clear enough, I'd be more than happy to talk to you guys on the phone. I'm listed in College Pressbox. You can find me on Facebook. I'm also listed at gophersports.com. So please don't hesitate to contact me if you guys have any questions. This has been fun. Let's do it again soon. Thanks, guys.